finishes, as does Sarkeesian and Diaz. The boys are about ready to go for our final race of day one of the Mount SAC relays. The boys individual sweepstakes, divisions 3, 4, and 5. Wow, Peters left it maybe a little bit too much. She picked up 13 seconds on Hickey, and most of it, quite frankly, happened in the last 800 meters because, as you saw, going down the Reservoir Hill, it looked like Hickey had this thing in the bag. Boy, that's what makes cross-country great. You just never know. So Peters in second, 17:56.9. Isla Terrell in third. Sarkeesian bagged 3 runners in that last mile, and Sarkeesian finished in 5:52.7. Sarkeesian having the fastest third mile of anybody. Harper Diaz of Santana in fifth. Lindsay Ballot of Coastal Academy in sixth. Villa Vicencio of Woodlake in seventh. Morocco Sage Creek in eighth. Osorio of West Covina ninth. Giorgio of Marlboro in 10th. Geez Louise, if Gabriella Peters had just made a move a little bit sooner, could have put paid to Ayanna Hickey's efforts, and that's the danger of going out that fast. Boy, we saw it with Kiara Daly getting nailed there in that last 800 and 1,200 meters by Abigail Arrington. Big group of boys here. So we see in the red and blue, the finishers about ready to head into Elmer Lodge Stadium, and then on the lower right, we've got the finishers of that individual sweepstakes 3-mile race. And on yellow and green, we've got the boys individual sweepstakes 3-mile. And of course, we saw some savvy moves made there by Augie Martin at the very end of that team sweepstakes race to just win by the narrowest of margins. The young man from St. Francis. Very savvy performance on that team individual sweepstakes race. I'm sorry, the team sweepstakes race. That's an oxymoron. Team individual. So 2:24 into the boys' race. Probably expecting that mile somewhere in the sub 5 area. Big pack. Probably just under 5 minutes will be that first mile for the boys. Taking a look at the team standings now. There's still a lot of work to be done there because we only have 28 finishers across the line. But Sage Creek has 4 of their 5 across, which augurs well for them. They're the only one with 4 of 5 across. Big Bear has 3 of 5 across. They're the only one with 3 of 5 across. So clearly there's Sage Creek should be in good shape here. But again, that's only 32 across the line there. Sage Creek, Monrovia, Moore Park, Capo Valley, all battling it out on that individual sweepstakes team race for girls. We'll await, obviously, how that plays itself out. Monrovia now has 5 of 5 across, so they got their 5th across before Sage Creek. And Capo Valley has 5 of their 5 across now as well.
Hey, go. I'm gonna go right here. I'm gonna go corner. I'll go up it over there.
Meanwhile, the boys, about 4 minutes in. Large group at the front there. Don't forget to join us tomorrow, by the way. We'll be having the individual and team sweepstakes races in the big schools division, divisions 1 and 2. So let's keep an eye on Arrington, who broke 17 minutes. That may end up still being the fastest time of the weekend for the girls. We'll have to see. We should be seeing a 1 mile split up here in about 20 seconds or so, and we can give you kind of a leaderboard on the boys race. And you can see now Sage Creek and Monrovia very close, with Capo Valley and Moore Park on the team side, Liam Miller of South Torrance, 4:53.4, the leader. Zimmerman of Thousand Oaks. And Thousand Oaks, in fact, have 2 in the top 8. Orrin Hill in 8th. Mac Aldi from Carmel in 3rd. Andres Lomelli of Kimball in 4th. Zion Ortiz of Burroughs Ridgecrest in 5th. Hunter Lee Moore Park in 6th. Omar Fabilla from LA Cathedral in 7th. We mentioned Hill from Thousand Oaks in 8th. Theo Poodlesoni of Wildwood in 9th, and Emmanuel Lopez of Servite in 10th. So that is the leaderboard through 1 mile of the boys' individual sweepstakes race, divisions 3, 4, and 5. And as you can see, also Burroughs Ridgecrest doing a great job packing their guys in on the team side of the individual race. Burroughs Ridgecrest has, in addition to their low stick of Zion Ortiz in 5th, they also have Silas Aberrare in 23rd, Ryan Morrison in 24th. And then Chase Rogers in 36th and James Winder in 40th. So they have 5 in the top 40, Burroughs Ridgecrest, and sitting very, very good here. Josiah Bowman of Sage Creek would have been the favorite coming into this race. He's only 15th at the 1 mile. We're expecting to see him move up, to be sure. Bowman was 6th in the Mount SAC team sweepstakes race last year in divisions 3, 4, 5, and he was 16th in the state cross-country championships last year. And you talk about speed, this young man, Josiah Bowman, a junior from Sage Creek, which is in Carlsbad, as mentioned, 152.67, 800 credentials. He was 2nd in the CIF San Diego section in the 800, and he's a 4:15 miler. So I'm expecting Bowman to make a move up. He was just 3 seconds behind the leaders early on, and as you can see, there is some separation here now. And we have literally, after that big pack at the mile, let's say between Bowman, who was 16th at the mile, and Miller, just a 3-second gap, but now we have 2 that have simply broken away. And it looks like Liam Miller there on the left from South Torrance. And Oliver Clippinger Zimmerman from Thousand Oaks. Those are the 2 in the lead. I think that's certainly the green of Thousand Oaks up there. So Miller, Clippinger, Zimmerman, 1-2. And there you see another Thousand Oaks runner in that distinctive green. As the team standings go now, Burroughs Ridgecrest, a 54-point lead by virtue of that great packing. Kimball in 2nd, Sage Creek in 3rd, South Torrance 4th, Moorpark and Thousand Oaks in 5th and 6th. And Thousand Oaks, obviously with those low sticks, that's going to help them.
I want to be in it too.
So Miller and Clippinger Zimmerman have just separated. Miller on the right of picture, Clippinger Zimmerman on the left of picture. And they're making their way into this Reservoir Hill area where we've got this downhill, but then we have that uphill, which can be a differentiator, certainly. It's the only really severe uphill on this course is that Reservoir Hill one. No Poop Out Hill anymore, but we do have Reservoir Hill. And these 2 are absolutely in lockstep. And I'm sure we're going to see something develop between these 2 once we get a sense of that once they start to ascend that hill. Meanwhile, the athlete there in third starting to close things down very fast, taking those downhills really swiftly. Look at the long strides for that athlete there in third. Can't ID him from this vantage point. So through 2 miles, Miller, Clippinger, Zimmerman, and our guy is Zion Ortiz from Bureau's Ridgecrest, which is the leader of the team. And look who moved up. Josiah Bowman of Sage Creek moves up 11 spots into fourth. And this young man is a 152 800-meter runner and a 415 1600-meter runner. You don't see him in that picture, but he could be a savvy finisher here. And Ortiz really moving up on Miller and Clippinger's. Now you see in the white, there's Bowman, and he's moving down that hill. And he looks like, you can also see Andres Lamelli of Kimball in there. And this is a great shot of the drone here. So Ortiz has now joined the top three, and Josiah Bowman of Sage Creek, hair flying in the white, they're in fourth. And now Ortiz has gone into the lead, and Clippinger Zimmerman in second. As I said, this uphill could be a differentiator. Miller falling back. Ortiz looks full of run. Boy, he really took that downhill fast, but again, the question is, did you make your move too soon? Clippinger Zimmerman's got his head down, driving hard on this. Again, this is the toughest part of the course physically. And once you ascend the top of that hill, it is all downhill, but again, I'd be watching out for Bowman, making that move of 11 spots in 1 mile and a 152 800 guy. Ortiz really flying on the number one team here, Burroughs Ridgecrest. They have a 14-point lead, as you can see on the leaderboard, over Sage Creek. And Miller knows how to run those downhills. I will say that. Ortiz knows how to run those downhills. He got himself into that race with the downhill. And look at him fly. My goodness gracious me. And you can see Clippinger Zimmerman having a hard time maintaining contact here. Ortiz, wow, he really knows how to run these downhills. Terrific downhill runner is Zion Ortiz. And Burroughs Ridgecrest is going to love that low stick if he can hang on here. And from this beautiful drone vantage point, we don't even see Clippinger Zimmerman. And swooping in now over Ortiz. But as we've seen, some people make their moves a little bit too soon, and you can see Ortiz not having the benefit of the downhill, slowing down a little bit there. You can see his tempo not quite what it was before. Like to see the relationship shot between him, if it's Clippinger Zimmerman or if it's Bowman. But you can see that now making that turn, Ortiz will start to be able to feel that stadium presence as he crosses in the stadium there to the right, the practice track, and he had that look of the stadium in there. And Clippinger Zimmerman still in second in the green. Ortiz got his head, and here comes Bowman. Bowman now into third. But it looks like he's tiring a bit, and he may actually get pipped for third. So with the smoke and into the final 300 meters, Zion Ortiz of Burroughs Ridgecrest, the team leader. Oh, and Ortiz going to the arms now. I don't think anybody's going to catch him. He left something for the end here. And look at that. Zion Ortiz going to the arms. Boy, did he run a smart race. Great on the downhills. And really taking the field to task here on the loop around Hilmer Lodge Stadium. And Zion Ortiz will not be headed here. 150 meters to go for this young man. Very good tactical sense. And look at this drone shot. You can see the lead that he has over what appears to be Clippinger Zimmerman, I think, still there in second. Now Ortiz into the straight. Boy, a good time he's going to have here. Wow, Zion Ortiz. Really nice time here for him today. Going wide. Clippinger Zimmerman, you can now see, into second. Terrific time, almost broke 15 minutes for 3 miles. Great job by Zion Ortiz, 4:51 last mile. Clippinger Zimmerman second. Leanne Miller holds on for third. Bowman finishes fourth. And a good battle here for fifth. Wow, that time, 15:03.9. That is hoofing it. And it looks like fifth is going to go to Theo Udelson of Wildwood, Lamelli of Kimball in sixth. And now coming into seventh, Mahari Winheim of Desert Christian. Here comes Thousand Oaks number 2 into eighth here, and that's Orrin Hill. And in ninth, Hunter Leah Moorpark. And 10th is going to be Finn Babbitt of Mary Star of C. Omar Fabilla from LA Cathedral in 11th. Bureau's Ridgecrest gets number 2, their number 2 runner in 12th. Silas Aberrare, 15:03.9. That is a really nice time for Zion Ortiz, who ran the fastest mile of anybody in that last mile, 4:51. What a close for Zion Ortiz. Wow, what an impressive performance by that young man. Now we see all of the finishers as they come through the chute here. So Augie Miller ran Augie Martin, ran 15:02.1 on the team sweepstakes race. Liam Ortiz ran 15:03.9 on the individual sweepstakes race. And 16:57.5 for Abigail Arrington on the team sweepstakes race for Division 3, 4, 5. What a tremendous races that we have had today on these sweepstakes races for the Divisions 3, 4, and 5. Goodness gracious me. Terrific running. Now we'll take a look now at these team standings. And I want to pay off too. Bear with me. So on the team standings now, Bureau's Ridgecrest and Sage Creek just going at it. Bureau's Ridgecrest now 9 up on Sage Creek. Moorpark in third. I also wanted to pay off the girls' individual sweepstakes team standings. We know Ayana Hickey won, but Sage Creek did end up beating Monrovia 78-95. Moorpark and Capo Valley tied at 122, but by virtue of Moorpark's better sixth runner, they end up getting third over Capo Valley. They go to 6, which is different than in college where they compare each of the 5 scoring positions. You do a face-to-face head-off between first and first, second and second, third and third, fourth and fourth, fifth and fifth. Very hard to explain, but easily to be understood when you see it. So anyway, Sage Creek ends up winning that individual sweepstakes team race. Really good times on this 3-mile course. Of course, I can't really give you any course records because this is a new course. So Augie Martin would, of course, have the course record at least for the day at that 15:02.1. Abigail Arrington have a course record at least for the day at 16:57.5. Now, tomorrow, the sweepstakes races will be held in the late morning. And as a consequence, just due to the weather factor, it could be You might get some faster times because at about 10 a.m. when they're running, it's going to be about, or even, 10 a.m. is when the Division 1 and 2 girls team sweepstakes races will take place. The boys will go at 9:42, and the temperature at that time tomorrow is going to be in the high 60s. So you do have that benefit, about a 10-degree benefit over the runners that are participating here in the evening. And you can see Burroughs and Sage Creek still very, very close. While I have a moment, a big shout out to the great job by the runnerspace crew in Walnut, California, and in Eugene, Oregon. Remember, they're covering all the races, so even though these are the peak of the races today, they're 41 through 45, so they had 40 races before we even came on the air with the special coverage. So kudos to them, working hard in that heat out there in Walnut, California, and of course to the great team back in Eugene, Oregon, that puts on these events for runnerspace. So looking at that leaderboard again, it's holding steady at 102 to 107 on that team part of the individual sweepstakes. They're back at it tomorrow, by the way, at 7:30 a.m. with the freshman men's division. And so, we will be back tomorrow at 7:30 a.m. and concluding all the way at the last race, 5:26 p.m. So for all of the